Hello, my name is Andrea Jia. I'm going to present you a review of the state of the technology around weather information management in major construction projects. The research question that guided my review is how to manage weather information in major construction projects, or more specifically, information regarding the risk of heat stress. The research question is broken down into three sub-questions. What are the gaps in the current practice in managing weather information? What are the potentials in the state of the technology? And what processes are needed to address the gaps and realize the potentials? These three questions were used iteratively in my review process. My review of the relevant technologies is against the context of major construction projects. I define this scope because heat stress is managed very differently in small residential projects and in major projects. A key difference is the ratio of supervisor to worker. In small projects, this ratio can be 1 to 2, so they can manage really in a personal approach and much more flexible. Workers can simply go home if they feel too hot, and they can come to work at cooler time of the day, flexible. But in major projects, the ratio between supervisor to worker could be 1 to 40. So a more formal, standardized, and systematic management approach is needed in major projects. The technologies that I reviewed in this research are by their relevance, selected by their relevance to the major project management system. In the following slides, I'm going to present the findings in three sections: gaps, potentials, and processes. The conclusion is my envisioned processes, what processes are needed for future development. To estimate project delay and make a more accurate project scheduling, weather conditions are analyzed in two types: foreseeable and unforeseeable. Construction activities are weighted by three factors: weather sensitivity of the activity, probability of the concerning weather condition, and duration of the activity. The second factor takes meteorological data. So here is the first gap. The public meteorological data is inadequate for analyzing weather factors in project delay and scheduling. They are not site-specific enough. And this is a heat safety tool, a mobile app developed by Niles in the United States. Workers can download it to their iPhone using Apple's location service to retrieve this region's current heat index. The app will assess the level of risk for you. So because it is linked to the National Weather Service, it also gives you hourly forecast of heat stress. Project managers are using this app to justify variations on how much time was used for completing their duties. Now, the gap in this app is it has no geo-coordinates information for people working in remote areas, as from the feedback of the practitioners. Models that integrate GIS and BIM are used not yet in construction project management, but we can find examples from urban planning for public consultation and later stage of the project facility management. The gap is that planners are drawing from their own expertise to do the planning. Then they develop the model for visualization and public engagement. The public engagement is more about persuasion of the community or make them select among a few options. There is not really a clear plan how the input from the community will substantially inform the planning decision. The data processing in this process is one way, top-down. The end user's data are not being fully valued and not being fully utilized. In construction projects, these end users are the frontline workers and supervisors. The data from their end are not being valued and fully utilized at this stage. So now what technology can do? Potential one, a methodology of weather-related productivity estimation recently is developed to help project planning and claims of extension. Research conducted by Loughborough University did an estimation of 15 regions of Spain based on meteorological data, and they find that productivity and project duration vary with the location of the project and the season of its commencement. Projects starting in summer have the shortest durations in comparison to those starting in winter or autumn. This is for a total project length is half year. If the project is longer, they can generally offset these variations. If the city has a good climate, the project will have a shorter duration. Further to the productivity estimation, the same research team proceeded to weather-aware project scheduling. It's more detailed scheduling. Now, Europe has the medium-range weather forecast in WBGT, which can predict in 15 to 20 days lead time, predict the heat stress. They suggest projects to develop weather-aware schedules through incorporating activity duration, extension, or cost increase based on historical weather data. Their model suggests that a half-year projects are the kind of projects that varies that delay has much uncertainty in how long it will delay depending on the starting date of the project. And the variance has a wide range of difference from nearly 6% of time delay to nearly 40%. Very, very different depending on the season and location. Therefore, they suggest a weather-wise project plan need to take into account a project starting date and seasonal patterns of regional climate. In high-rise building construction, there are vertical variations in weather conditions, which is not reflected in data monitored and recorded in meteorological system. Colleagues in Korea developed a simulation model to analyze vertical weather profile for a final forecast of schedule delay in high-rise building construction. Because productivity loss caused by weather conditions need to be legitimated for claiming extensions, and this model offers a tool to quantify the loss more accurately so that workers will be pressured to complete the work in an impossible schedule. Finally, technology has prepared the ground to enable bottom-up participation. BIM model accessed through mobile devices has brought design information to construction site. There has the potential to enable workers' participation at that level. And also there's agent-based modeling allows us to simulate how agents of typical behavioral patterns respond to emergent situations on site. These are the potentials that can be fully developed to aid construction process. I conclude this review with 2 slides on the envisioned processes for weather information management in major projects. The first key process development is to materialize participatory data collection, which means to enable bottom-up data input. The second key process is to integrate different sources of weather and personal information for the heat stress risk can be managed at personal level on site, which is the most effective approach, and risk mitigation immediately effective. Then we should pool the data for future estimation and for project planning. And this has to be realized through inter-project learning. This is not a bit mid-term, it's not immediate solution. Thank you.